So quite some time ago now, I was a detective in the police force, and we were called to an address to investigate the death of an elderly lady. So what we were told was that there'd been a break-in, and as a result there was an elderly lady that was deceased. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was freezing cold, it was the middle of the night, it was raining, and it was in a court location, and there was no not very good lighting in the court, and so there was already that eerie feeling before we'd even got out of the car. As we're walking down the side of the house, we noticed a broken window. So far the story that was being presented before us seemed to be matching up. But for any of you with children that have ever broken a window at home, that cricket ball through the window, you don't have to be a detective to work out which way the glass was broken, and this window was definitely broken from the inside out. So the story wasn't quite adding up so far. So we go inside, and we start talking to the reporting person, and he's telling us where he's been and how long he'd been gone, and explaining who the elderly lady was. And we see the TV's on, and there's a warm cup of tea. And so the story before us was not only just what we were hearing, but what we were seeing with our eyes as well, and that was just as important. Now, unlike Law and Order, this wasn't solved in an hour, but what it turned out was that the reporting person was actually the offender. He had murdered the elderly lady and set the story to make it that it was a break-in and that someone else had killed her. It was over money. So what's this got to do with running a business? Being a business owner is like being a detective in the police force. You're always investigating and looking into the elements of your business and your industry to work out what clues you can find for business success. So I have a toolkit that I use, and I call it the Business Detective Toolkit, and it has 5 key tools that I still use to this day, 14 years down the track. So I'll start with those and hopefully share those with you today. Number 1 is your magnifying glass. So get out the magnifying glass and inspect your business. Failure to search for anything is failure to find. Have you ever asked someone in your household to go to the fridge or the pantry and grab out something that you know is in there? Only to find they come back and say it wasn't there, but you know it was there. So you go and get it, and you go back and you find it. Their failure to search was a failure to find. So if you're not looking for anything, you're not going to find it, which could get you in all sorts of strife. All types of things in your business. So what is the first piece of interaction a client has with your business right up to the end piece of interaction they have? What do your financials look like? You've had Shannon and Nadia talking to you about that today. What's your strategy for employing staff, managing the team, dealing with conflict? Do you know how satisfied your customers are? So break everything right down into tiny pieces and analyse what's going on. We tend to do this when we first open a business, but as time goes on, we don't necessarily check in to see if those processes are still relevant and serving our business today. If you've ever seen the news and you've seen police doing a line search, so they might be looking for something, someone that's missing or some evidence in relation to a death, and they're there shoulder to shoulder, and they're taking teeny tiny steps looking for that evidence that they know is going to be in front of their eyes. Sometimes they find things that that they're not sure if that's part of the investigation or not, but I'll come back to how we can deal with those bits later. In an investigation, the tiniest piece of evidence could be the piece in the puzzle that brings that crime together and has someone arrested, an offender, and taken to court and has a success. In your business, the tiniest piece of clues that you can uncover and make small changes can change your customer experience from a 3 up to a 5 with a tiny change. Or it can change the profits you see in the business or help you to understand where your cash flows are. So it is really important to take out that magnifying glass and inspect what's going on in your business. Number 2 is the handcuffs. How are these relevant? As business owners, have you ever felt handcuffed to your business? Like your hands are tied behind your back, you can't escape, and you don't know where to turn. You might have days when you're feeling a bit freer, and you can, if you're really flexible, and you can get them out in front of you, but you're still handcuffed, and you can't quite step away. So what is it that you do in your business day to day? Can somebody else do that role? I ask you to ask yourself 3 questions. Why did you go into business? Do you know if you've made success of what you thought your success in business was going to be, or do you know what it actually is that you thought success would be in your business? When you answer these 3 questions, they're the little clues that you can use to put into place some small changes so that you can feel less handcuffed to your business. So even on a daily basis, if I get asked a question in my business, I stop for a minute and think, is this answer available somewhere else? If not, is there a process or policy that needs updating? Or is there another information source that I can update so that I can empower the team and I'm then not as handcuffed to the business? The next in the toolkit I'm very passionate about, it's the bulletproof vest and really keeping your business and yourself secure. And the reason I'm passionate about this is because it's probably the easiest one, because I'm not asking you to do it yourselves, I'm asking you to reach out to all those experts that are in the room here today. So it's about insurances, it's about your bank manager, it's about your solicitor, it's having building insurance, business loss insurance. It's working within the regulations of your industry. So whether you're in finance or electrician or healthcare, we all have regulations to work by. It's understanding those regulations. OH&S laws, employment laws. It all sounds really boring, I know, but really simple to insure yourself and your business against, and there's experts to do it for you. You do need to dot your I's and cross your T's, got that the right way around, and be really thorough in this process. In an investigation, if you're not thorough, it could mean that your case doesn't make it to court, that nobody gets charged for it, or that you get to court and it's thrown out because you didn't follow due process. In your business, if you get caught out in one of these situations, what have you got to lose? You've got your business to lose, you've got your home to lose. How does that impact your family? How does it impact the people that work with you and for you and your clients on a day-to-day basis? So to me, that's a really easy one. And if you haven't got those things in place, there's people in the room here today, grab their business card and make a time with them and get your insurances and protection for your business in place. Number 4 is the crew. So who's on your crew? Who's in your team? And do they align with your values and morals? So in a police crew, a detective crew, you all know what you're there for. You're there to have the crime reported to you, investigate the crime, solve the crime, take someone to court and hopefully get a fantastic outcome. Do the people on your team know what they come to work for every day? Do they know their role, and do they know what it is that they're there for the bigger picture of your company? And again, do they align with your morals and values? Because we know how important that is for everyone's health and happiness in a workplace. You also have your external crew, who I just talked about before. These are the detectives for your business, the professionals that you need along the way, your solicitor, your accountant, your bank manager. It might be your mindset coaches, a team that you can have and trust in and call on to help with your business success along the way. I talked earlier about the investigators when they come across evidence, but they're not quite sure if it's going to be needed or not. How do you know what you're looking for in your business if you don't understand it? So if you don't know what you don't know if you come across something, so again, those business detectives for your business can help you with those details, can tell you how much you've got to spend on wages or marketing, so that they can find the little problems, find the clues before your business gets into strife. Number 5 is the torch. And the torch, as you know, if you shine a torch, you can have it as focused as you like or as wide as you like. And the torch is about success and what that means to you. So my business, when we first opened, it was about having one big allied health clinic on the Mornington Peninsula that did gold standard customer service and healthcare for people living down this way so that they didn't have to travel into town. But that's not the same for everyone. And there are people that work on their own, and there are people that work for other people in management positions. And it's what success actually means to you that matters when I'm talking about the torch. Because a lot of the other things I've talked about can be used in departments and organisations. They don't have to just be for business owners. And I ran into a colleague a couple of weeks ago, who had met about 12 years ago. And at that point in time, he had a fleet of vehicles, and he had staff working in all those vehicles. And 2 weeks ago when I met him, he no longer has that fleet of vehicles and no longer has those staff. And that's a choice that he's made to go the other way in his business. He works 200 days a year. He knows the amount of clients he needs in those 200 days to support his family. And the purpose of that was he now has 4 young children under 8 that he wants to spend time with, and his business, the other size, wasn't allowing him to do that. So he's done the numbers the other way to work out how he can have the success in what he sees as success. The other thing when you're looking at the success is if you write a list of the things that you don't want to do in your business. So we start these businesses or we work for ourselves and we have a list of these things that we don't want to do anymore. So start by writing those down and get rid of them. We've all heard that. Do the to-do list, do the to-do-don't list and get rid of it. But then there's the roles that you do. Write those up and process those up as well so that you at some point have a choice about what success looks like to you down the future. So today I know it's been quite a short little talk up here today just to finish off the day. I hope you can take those tools away. So we've got the magnifying glass, we've got the handcuffs, we've got the bulletproof vest, we've got the torch and the crew. Take those away into your business and find the clues to help you with this, what success means to you. And I look forward to working with businesses large and small to help uncover the clues in your business for your success. Thank you.